Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Matchbox Resurrection. And today I'm playing with this Citroen 2CV, and this is gonna be the third one on this kind of French Connection series that I'm doing. And I already introduced you to him. This is Gaston, and Gaston is Suzette's brother, and he's also best friends with Marcel, the fishmonger. Gaston works for Monsieur Dupont, the solicitor, and his car needs to look good so he can drive his clients around. And he also wants to open the roof because he sells cheese to the same restaurants that Marcel's deliver the fish. And he doesn't want the car to smell like sweaty socks. I've opened the car and the base is alright, there's no wrong with it, apart from that it's made out of plastic. So I'll probably be painting it in silver. The interior of the real car is nothing like this. If I remember well, it was just material on some sort of metal frame. Very uncomfortable. Now I just need to remove the windshield before stripping the paint off. And of course, I forgot to remove the windshield. Take two. The paint comes off really easy. It looks a bit like a cheese fondue. Now I'm just gonna use my wire wheel and see how much work do I need to do on this one. And this has got to be one of the worst finishes on a casting that I've seen in my life. But you'll see later on. Now it's just time to open the roof. Hey, careful. So the roof is open and just have a look at the back. There's lines missing, it's not even flat, so I'm gonna have to do a bit of work in there. It's taking me a long time to do all the body work, but it needs to be done. And if you think this is bad, just wait until you see the front. And like I said before, the front is even worse. It's like somebody made the casting out of plasticine with a chainsaw. So I tried to sand it down smooth, but the headlights are on my way. So I'm gonna have to remove them, do all the sanding, and then figure out how to do new headlights. And after removing the headlights, this is what I've got. What a mess. So I'm gonna spend a bit of time sanding because I want a really good finish on this car. I'm also removing the indicators and I'll be replacing them later on with some rhinestones. It took me ages to get there, but I'm chuffed to bits with the result. The back still needs some fine sanding, but I'm nearly there. And now I'm just gonna make the headlights, and I'm using these metal studs that I've got from my leather work, and that is gonna be the headlight. But first, I need to chop the prongs. I need to drill a hole, to attach it to the bar, but this is so small, it's only about 4 millimeters in diameter, so I need to make like a slot. I've tried with the small hand drill, but I wasn't going anywhere. And this is what it looks like. And now I'm just gonna put a bit of milliput inside, just to fill the cavity and attach the metal bar to it, which I'm using just a paper clip. Now I just need to sand them down flat and put some yellow lenses. And of course, I need to drill some holes to attach the headlights, and I'm using just a bit of tape so I know that both headlights are at the same height. I've also put a bit of milliput inside so I can attach the bars onto it. Now they look more like the ones on the real car. As for the indicators, I'll be sticking them on later on when the paint is done, but for now I also need to open a hole on the windshield. And this time I'm gonna be using some leather to do the soft roof. I've put some super glue to hold it together, and now I'm just gonna use some thread to make the straps. And while I was opening the hole on the windshield, I've decided to open a window as well, so it look more like the original car. And I'm gonna use a bit of tape to mark the middle of the window so I don't cut too much. I'll have to make the other half of the window when everything's done, but for now I'm just gonna leave the windshield in place. Now let me introduce you to this one. This is a Majorette, a Citroen DS, and this is Viviane, Gaston's wife. She drives an ambulance. She saves lives. The hospital has finally agreed to restore her ambulance. And Viviane has got a twin brother. His name is Cyril. Cyril has got an old ambulance from the hospital and is planning to convert it into a hearse because he works for Madame Beaumont, the undertaker. Brother and sister, black and white, yin and yang. She saves lives. He takes them to the final destination. But that is a different story. I'm painting the car in a light grey, and I also added a tiny bit of brown, just so it's a warmer color. And again, I'm gonna use some electrician's tape to do the front and back bumpers. To make sure it's not peeling off with the time, I'm gonna use some clear nail varnish. After gluing the roof with a bit of super glue, I'm just gonna make the lenses now for the headlights. And I'm using, as usual, a bit of packaging that I painted with transparent paints, and I punched some holes, and now I'm just gonna glue them on. And as for the indicators, like I said before, I'm just gonna use some rhinestones. You can buy loads of them for like 50p anyway. As for the folding window, it's just a bit of clear plastic, cut to shape, and glued on. All the jobs are done now, so I'm gonna put it together. And the first thing that I need to do is put the windshield with the window open, so it's a bit tricky. There you go. Gaston's car is looking a lot better now, and it doesn't smell of cheese. On the last episode, somebody commented that he should ask Monsieur Dupont for a pay rise. Well, guess what? He did. But that is a different story too. I've really enjoyed this project. I've done a lot of things that I've never done before. You know, like the new headlights, side indicators, the front, the bumper. It was a nightmare to do the front, but I'm really happy with the result. This one was the worst casting I've seen in my life. I've also added the small details, you know, like the door handles, put a bit of foil on the gas tank, and a bar on top, and you know, like indicators and things like that. I did a bit of bodywork on the back as well, because it was almost as bad as the front. And let's not forget, of course, the side window and the soft roof. And that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't miss the next episode on this French connection. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like it. And I'll see you next week with something else. Have a good day.